think I remember in kindergarten definitely like having crushes on boys in class and not even being ashamed of it really, kind of going home and showing my mom like pictures in the yearbook and like, you know, saying, oh, they're cute, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know if my mom ever scolded me on it really. I think it always seemed like she encouraged me to be who I was without ever any question. And I remember, she put me in the arts and dancing and singing if I wanted to sing. And I always felt like I was safe doing that. And I remember the first time I ever heard being gay was wrong was probably in school later on, probably middle school. And that's when it began to sort of be apparent that what I felt wasn't maybe in line with what I should be doing or the choice I should make to, with relationships and sex and things like that. And so I kind of just turned it off. And I would find myself getting crushes, and I'd put it way in my mind. And I think I fell in love with music, and I used that as a sort of a disguise. And I started dressing really outlandish and being in bands, and that was sort of my outlet in a way, because there was always the ambiguity that I could hide behind that I loved. So I dated, I had a girlfriend in high school that I loved, and I was active in church. Every Sunday I went to seminary, and my mom was, and my mom and dad were really good at raising me to always question, and I loved that because I think I felt safe praying and talking to God and talking to the bishop and being frank. And I don't remember ever on Sunday being told like homosexuality was wrong until after my mission. And then obviously Prop 8 happened, and I was in California, and my family was asked to put one of the signs in the lawn, and that was when I started to realize, like, okay, this isn't going in line with how I feel, yet I still have this this odd like faith, and even though I'm being told by leaders that this isn't right, and I first started acting on my gayness, and my 20s felt like two lives. It was weird. I had the life where I was Tyler, and I had two girlfriends, and I almost got married, and I was pursuing my music dreams, and I was in a band, and then I was whatever name I made up online at that time, and I was completely afraid of getting caught and having these unhealthy experiences, and it created this real torrential shift, and I started to not value life, and I was so I was succeeding, in what I loved in music, and I was having this career and getting to tour and getting to release these records and having this success, and I was so unhappy, and I didn't understand. And the only time that I was able to fully be free was on stage, and it would come out in the weirdest ways sometimes, and my band didn't really get it, and that would cause more drama. And I think it just it came to a head, and I realized that I was falling in love secretly with unavailable people, and I was being terrible to these women that I was in reality in love with, like to them, and it was just this like double life. And I went to a therapist, and I canceled a tour, and she's this nice Mormon woman in Pleasant Grove, Utah, and we just began talking, and I think it was the first time I was just able to like talk about what was on my mind without feeling like I had to be on for an interview, or I had to give a clever answer so that, you know, they'd run the quote in an article or something. And it was just me sort of emptying out what was in here for so long. And I think she knew that what I was getting at, you know, at the first meet, but we didn't talk about it for a long time. But I remember the first time just talking about it out loud and saying, yeah, I'm in love with this friend that has no idea that I'm in love with them, and yet there's this connection, and I swear it's real, and I want to tell him, but I feel like I can't, and I remember just feeling a weight lift off my shoulders, just being able to say that out loud and realize you need to accept this about you. You're almost 30 years old. You should be happy. You know, you should be totally happy. You're getting to do what you love, and some of your friends are still wondering what they're going to do with their lives. And I started writing a lot of music, and what ended up being the next album of my band's career. And in the songs, I was just so candid about my identity and my thoughts on love and the frustrations. And my producer asked me one day what the songs are about, and I said, can I tell you? And I said, I'm gay, and I've known since I was 3, and these are some of my most favorite songs I've ever written. And it was the very first time anyone had given me a positive reaction to anything regarding being gay. And there was even like a tone of excitement, like, I'm so excited for you. And that blew my mind, that could be something that you should be happy about. Like, it was always something that I needed to be afraid of, or that I needed to keep hidden, or that I needed to laugh about and sort of, you know, joke about. But it was never something that I could actually do, which is hilarious to me now. Like, I could never be myself, that's the whole point of this life. And I wanted to tell everyone at that point, and so I told my parents, and I told my band, and I told my family, and then I told the world, or whoever cared, or, you know, at the time. And I remember the amount of stress leading up to like the story coming out in the magazine, and I went to the hospital a weekend before it came out because I had this intense reaction to stress, where my whole chest wall inflamed, and I felt like it, like the minute it came out, it was like this purge of emotion, and so much, like, so many thoughts and so many conversations with myself just like leaving. And since then we've been on a tour, and I've been on stage, and I felt like I float every night, and there's not this fear of wondering if the crowd thinks I'm gay, or if I say something, if they're gonna wonder. And I can't imagine going farther in life without just accepting who I am, and now it's so refreshing to be able to say I'm figuring it out and I don't have all the answers. When before I would make up answers, or I would, tell myself the solutions, and now it's like really refreshing to just be able to say like, yeah, I love God, and I still believe in that. I still believe in the power of prayer. I still love my family. I still hope that there's some sort of, togetherness in the afterlife. I don't want, I don't know all the answers, but I also know that this is who I am, this is how I feel.